Good evening and salutations, my Chiefs fans. So, Jocelyn, Christina. First of all, I just want to sit there and say right off the bat that the only thing that was interesting about yesterday's episode was Jocelyn and Christina. And this is one of those things where they talk about the aftermath of their argument. Jocelyn, you are still out of pocket for arguing with a pregnant woman. I don't know on what planet does she think that it's actually okay, it's sane, or it's cool to be sitting there arguing back and forth with a pregnant woman. Not once, but twice at this point. Now I know people can sit there and say, well, she had a couple of drinks. She wasn't stumbling drunk when she walked into Jason's place. So she knew what she was doing. Yeah, she had some alcohol and it made it a little extra, but it didn't make. I've drunk before, and it might make a little extra, but I knew exactly what I was saying and doing at the time. There is still no excuse for that. Now the thing about this is that Jocelyn vents to Jason and Christina vents to Molly. There's a lot of things that they're right about, both of them. There's a hell of a lot of things that they are wrong about. Christina has blinders on when it comes to her son. And there's one point where she talks about Cyrus and that he's no fragile man. I'm like, you do realize that old fragile man that you're talking about was going to literally murk your family? Both of them seem to forget about that. They just keep talking about, oh, he's a broken old man. But there's a point where she's like, well, Sonny must have really been in a bad place for him to do that. He must have really been in a bad place. He wasn't. He wasn't. He was broken up about this, that, and the third, and he did it. And I'm like, but that doesn't make it okay, right? In a lot of ways, she seems like she excuses what he's done as far as beating Cyrus half to death because he simply had a bad day because him and his girlfriend, his wife, got into it. And that's how she goes on for the rest of the episode. Now, again, there's stuff where she's saying is right as far as, um, he could be honorable at times. Him protecting poor Charles is like he's more the lesser of two evils. Being a good man as far as, charities and stuff like that, that's all good and well. And those are things that he has done. Now, with Jocelyn, she realized that she went too far. She realized that she went too as far as um, going in on Sonny with Christine. Because at the end of the day, it's like that's her dad. What do you think you're gonna? It's like she's sitting there getting all upset, like, oh, why can't you sit there and see him without the blinders on, stuff like that. I'm like, that's not your place, though. It's not your place to sit there and awaken her to the truth. It's not your job, you know. And granted, yes, there's things that she said you're right as far as Dex put his life on the line for him, and he pretty much kind of treated him like garbage. The same thing with Jason. But Jason makes her this promise that he's gonna look out for Dex because even Jason's like, yeah, that's gonna be a bad move for Sonny because you know he he ain't dealing with that. And Jason's like, I tried to talk to Anna, but Anna wouldn't listen. I'm like, yeah, because you don't run ish. Like, yeah, you can sit there and talk where you want, but her and nobody else actually has to listen to you. That's where a little bit of that entitlement comes from. Again, at the end of the day, they both made some valid points, but they were both hella wrong. Now, Molly is not there keeping quiet because, there's a point where Jocelyn tells Christina that Sonny put a hit out and had Dex try to kill Cyrus. And she's not saying anything, but she knows it's true. Samantha to Karen. That's it. That's all I got. An hour straight of her sitting there whining and complaining about Danny and Jason and how Jason didn't sit there and listen to her. First of all, Sam, Jason is his father. Okay, and as it stands right now, he has just as much rights as you. Okay, so let's just get that out the way because she seems to sit there and think like she has more rights than he does, and that is simply just not the case. So she sounded hella stupid because once again she's like, "Oh well, he didn't listen to me." Maybe how about you be a better mom and keep track of your son because your son went to Jason. So what was he supposed to sit there and do? Now, of course, Sam is just sitting there running off of emotions, and she's all like, "Oh, he broke my heart as far as leaving and stuff like that," and he won't sit there and tell me why. He'll tell you why when he's ready. Like, you don't control when he tells you information. That's not how that works. He'll tell you when he's good and ready, not when you want it to be. Let's see what else. Talks about the reason why she broke up with him because of the danger. Sure, whatever. I mean, the danger was working for her just fine. Before it was working for her just fine. And yeah, I understand different priorities and people get to change their minds. But again, when it comes to us, Danny, you had a baby with him. So honestly, to tell you the truth, it just in one ear and out the other. And Dante sits there and tries to play peacemaker and just kind of listen to her and everything like that. But I'm pretty sure that there's a couple of things that he does want to sit there and say to her. But Sam is the type of person that she'll sit there and take whatever criticism and be super emotional about it. I don't know what the hell they're doing with. Well, I guess they call that one second. Um, they're doing some sort of chem test, I guess. I don't know. When it comes to his romance, I know nothing as far as soap operas. But then, just they're putting them in the scene, I guess, to sit there and see if they can pair those two together. If the audience is going to sit there and like them or not. I don't know. There's so many people that don't like Drew at this point. It's like Dex is telling Anna about how the other officers are being dicks. And she's telling him that she went through a similar thing when she became commissioner again. She was like, listen, you're just gonna sit there and earn their respect, which is very true. Because respect isn't given, it's earned. But seems like he's gonna sit there and follow through with it. Gregory has another incident. Violet was there. Finn is there, tries to calm him down, and Chase is there. There's one point where you know, Finn is not there looking at the Gregory, and Chase is like, should we sit there and push back the wedding or whatever? And I'm just like, do you really think that this right here, talking to him about or asking him should they push back the wedding is the most appropriate time to even talk about that? It's almost like, did your brain just reset for a minute, or you're not aware of the situation that's going on right now? Anyway, the paramedics come. Um, but his symptoms kind of calm down, and Chase goes over there to talk to Tracy and Lois and Brooklyn about everything that's going on. And they're trying to come up with alternative plans as far as officiating the wedding. But Gregory calls up and he's like, "Hey, listen, I'm going to be sitting there doing it. The wedding's not going to be canceled. Um, And Tracy just sits there and reiterates that in her, well, Tracy manner. And so the wedding is still on, or off, or on. I'm assuming it's going to be on. I don't really care, but I know other people do, so that's cool for y'all. Um, I don't know. I still don't understand how she actually thinks that arguing back and forth with a pregnant woman is doing anyone any good. You know, I mean, she felt bad. You know, and the sad thing is that she felt bad because she felt like she went too far. Not because she was there arguing with a woman who was pregnant, but because she felt like her words might have been a little bit too mean, and that she's letting the hatred get the best of her. Arguing with a pregnant woman, that wasn't something that she actually felt bad about. Okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's about it. There might be more to sit there and talk about, but I think that's about it for right now. But there's probably more to talk about. Yeah, there's definitely more to talk about. So come to a live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born to Beautiful, Young and Restless. Also, if you did not watch the collab yesterday with me, Brock, Kyrie's, and DC Soap Sanctuary, check that out. That might actually be maybe my it's a tie. Because I want to sit there and say it's my favorite collab, right? But there is a collab on my members on the members only part that let's just sit there and say if you're a member, you watched it, you know why it's so memorable. It's called Spilling the Tea. So there are a tie. But if you didn't watch that one, definitely check it out. It was a really good video. Um, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you later on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we'll talk about more about GH and all three of the other shows.